Hello, everyone, and welcome. SmashBoxxTV podcast 595.
Welcome back to the basement, Terry.
Yay, I'm here. Is this like a downgrade?
From wherever you were, yes. Literally, you're underground, you're undergrade, because we're in the basement. But on top of that, you've been to 4 different countries in the past week, maybe 3, I don't know.
No, not quite that many. But I'm about to go to 3 more.
So this is...
I'm out of this place.
This is the low point in your month. And
good.
Normally I would say
I'm
hanging
glad
out
you
with me
recognize
is
that.
the high point.
Yeah.
But I can see beyond myself, Terry, here.
Wow.
I have vision beyond vision.
Okay.
You know? Sight beyond sight if I was a Thundercat.
Roar. Yeah, well, I am excited to be here.
That sounded so fake.
Back in Wisconsin, we have been treated these last few days to some 50 and even 60-degree weather yesterday. It's been unseasonably warm, so that's been great to be outside for a little bit of that. But we're getting back into a little bit of the chill, and that's going to be just in time for me to hop on a plane and in 6 days or so head to the Philippines, which will be my first time ever there. And of course, I'm always excited about international travel for disc golf. It's even cooler when you're checking off new countries, whatever the country is. I don't even care. I'll go to any new country at this point. As long as it's relatively safe for me to like put my feet on the ground when I get there, I'll go to any new country when it comes to
Can I
disc
interest
golf.
you in Iran?
Again, I said
Maybe not quite. Maybe not right now. Give us a few. give our country a few months, and we'll see what Iran is like.
We'll see how things go, but I'm super excited to go to the Philippines. Of course, I've heard good things about their disc golf scene. Christian Fernando, I'm just going to say it, is one of the brightest shining stars that's currently coming out of the Philippines. A phenomenal young player. Scott Stokely was talking about him a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, and then I've also watched him develop into an incredible player. The women's side of the game is growing, and then what I'm also hearing a lot about is just their overall youth movement that they have going on there as well. So lots of good things coming out of the Philippines. So I'm excited to go there. And then going to Okinawa. You and I were in Japan in 2010. You were there in 10. I was in there 8 and 10. And that's when we landed in Tokyo and then went up to the Nasu Shiobara Highlands where the Japan Open was taking place, all a different island and a totally different part of Japan than what you and I went to. So going to Okinawa might even feel a little bit new to me. I'm excited about that, where we're going to have a tournament. And then we wrap up the Asia tour in Shanghai, China. And I had a quick conversation. I actually called Brian Earhart a couple days ago and said, hey, I know you've been there. I had actually a visa question as well, trying to get some things locked in. And he had nothing but good things to say. Obviously, he was there working the World Games last year and had a great time. But I'm super excited to see what's going on in China. And we've set it up, for a couple decades now. Just think if that entire country or community of people that are the few that are there start to truly blossom. I think it's 1.1 billion people in China alone out of the roughly 8 billion in the world. Disc golf takes off there. We've got a whole lot of new players and influx into the disc golf scene. So super excited about it. And of course, you'll then be getting all 3 of those events in a post-production format coming from me. So here for a few more days.
And right now, you're really busy doing a lot of other post-production stuff.
Right.
You've got Memorial coming out.
Right.
Spell check, Terry.
Yeah.
You've got Chiang Mai still coming out.
Yep.
And not just, I'll say Memorial, but you've got MPO, FPO, and a round of MP40. So just it's not like you're taking a break until you leave. This is your break from editing, coming here to do the podcast.
To do more. Yeah, exactly. So thank you for everyone for remaining patient. Obviously, it's been quite the grind, and now I'm on this basically 1 round a day schedule of releasing videos, which in itself is like already a busy day. And then to know that I have like 9 or 10 or 11 of those days in a row has certainly been some of that grind.
Why haven't you trained your kids to do this yet, Terry?
I offered years ago. I sat them down and said, here's how to edit. And we actually had a conversation about that a good 2 or 3 years ago when they were like 13 and 10. And I don't know. I told them we could get them on a payment plan. I would gladly pay them to help.
They're probably making more at their sandwich making job than you were going to pay them, Joe. Let's be honest. That's probably
true. Or babysitting. Babysitting for rich people seems to be working out for both of them.
I'd like to do that.
Me too. Like I see how much money they make. I'm like, I'm doing the wrong job.
I don't want to babysit rich people's kids. I just want to babysit rich people. Like maybe, hey, you're going to go out tonight and get all sloppy. Mm-hmm. How about I babysit you? Make sure you don't do anything dumb.
Right. Right. Because we would be the best. We would certainly be those guiding lights.
Yeah, we're good examples, Terry.
Yeah.
We're fine, young, upstanding men.
That's true. So anyway, as Johnny alluded to real quick, tomorrow, final round of MPO to be released. I got even a extra bonus round in there because we captured Gannon's 17 under. So that released yesterday. Round 3 released today. Round 4 of MPO releases tomorrow. And you may or may not already know the outcome. It's a pretty wild ride, honestly. I really enjoyed editing and commentating on that round, along with Parker, who was on the card. And you've got Parker, Drew Gibson, Aaron Gossage, and Gannon Burr. I mean, 4 names you could potentially see at one of our Elite Series events on a final day lead card. So love to do it. It was a lot of fun. That will drop tomorrow morning. Then we get some MP40 final round action in there out at Fountain. And then Jen Allen is going to be tackling the FPO commentary while I continue to work on other stuff. So plenty of coverage coming at you.
And as always, Parker Welk doing a great job, well received.
Yeah.
It's not long before, he's going to be taking your job in the booth.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm expecting. He definitely has a knack for it. Obviously, he's in tune. He's on the course. He's friends with so many of these people, and then he's a solid player himself. He knows the game. He knows everything that's going on, and then just has, I think, all-around great vocal presence and to accompany his knowledge. He was again very, very well received. One troll said, "Oh, this is better on mute," and it was with just Parker, and I'm like, was it the guy in our green room? Probably. Sounds like something he would say because he's a jerk like that. No, he's not. So look for all of that. Post-production's the life, and with that, someone else who's on that post-production grind.
Memorial was 2 weeks ago, Terry. That's almost old news.
Yes.
Almost.
Well, that's why we've got newer news coming in, and that's, of course, I'm talking about Felix over at Ace Run Production. Felix, how are we doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Terry. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing awesome. Are you ready for the season? Be honest. Like, it's not far away, if you've even stopped.
We don't get much of an off season being based out of the Southeast.
True.
So we finished up with Puerto Rico early December. That was my off season. I got to spend a couple weeks there with my mom and my family, and then got back home, and we jumped right back into it with Savannah Open. We just released Reckoning on the River footage. We're about to drop the Open at Tallahassee footage. We had Jacksonville somewhere in between all that as well. So our off season really comprises of that little bit of stretch that we have after Puerto Rico, and then a combined 6 days somewhere in between all of that.
Can't stop, won't stop. Love it. You're obviously out there on the grind almost every single weekend in either a post-production or a live capacity. What does this year look like for you, Conrad, for your channel, for DGN? Where have you gotten a contract? Have you signed a contract? Where do things kind of shake out right now for you and your overall filming prowess for the year?
So I don't know if you have like a spidey sense for this stuff, Terry, but there are some changes coming our way as well.
Okay.
I'm not going to be at as many events this year. I'm kind of taking a little bit of a step back and doing more of the kind of behind the scenes stuff, running our social media, being more on the executive end of sending out emails and answering questions, and trying to cover more of the stuff that we kind of started out with more locally.
Mm.
So doing more of a Southeast type of stuff as much as we can, and just trying to be home more.
Right.
My daughter's 9 years old, going to be 10 this year, and I told my wife when we first got started that by the time she's 8, I wanted to be primarily off the road. So I'm a little bit behind schedule on that. We will still absolutely have a presence on the Pro Tour. We're finalizing all of that stuff now. The plan is for Conrad to be at the majority of those events, still filming live. I will join him as much as I can for some of the elite events and the majors as well. The PDGA stuff we haven't hammered out yet, so we're still kind of up in the air about like Tim Solinsky and the majors that we cover for them, the age protected stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we are hoping to do more of A tiers and B tiers that are a little bit closer to home, where we can kind of split the team and take on additional shooters and expand the brand a little bit more, which we haven't done as much over the last couple of years, being so primarily attached to just filming live.
Yeah, and give everyone a sense, and you and I haven't talked, so I'm definitely not, propping you up for things I actually know the answers to, but give everyone a sense of the media landscape from your perspective. I mean, like I said, you've been wearing this hat of live a lot and contracted from the Pro Tour, but then also whenever you're not live, it feels like then obviously you guys are doing your own thing with Ace Run. Where do you feel like the overall disc golf content capturing, releasing, all of that, like where's disc golf media at for you guys right now?
I don't know, I feel like the last couple of years, you can kind of sense the changes coming, especially if you aren't primarily connected to the Pro Tour. It just makes it so much more difficult for smaller teams to kind of get in the door and then to be able to expand. We're just trying to financially do what's best for both of us, because we've said this from day one. We're both grown men with families and mortgages. Mm-hmm. So for us to leave our homes for 3 months at a time has to make sense for us and be able to pay the bills in order to do so. So we have to look for those opportunities as much as we can. I don't really know. I think this year is kind of going to be, I mean, from what everything we've seen already, we know that there's going to be a difference this year from what we've seen in the past, especially across the Pro Tour with Powerball and everything coming on, which hopefully will make it more feasible for people to go out and make a living doing it week over week. But the media teams themselves, I think there's kind of a bit of a scramble mode kind of going on with specifically some of the, if you're not Jomez, because even GoThrow and ourselves, we kind of have to figure out what the game plan looks like and what makes sense. And that kind of started last year with the GoThrow Tour and us partnering with them, seeing what latitude that allows us to have. And then opening doors for us to be able to do more A tiers this year and to be able to partner with smaller teams throughout to cover events that we can't necessarily get to, but we can maybe utilize other teams that have experience to cover those events, and then either cover it under the Ace Run umbrella or do split coverage to help those channels grow. So there's a lot of different opportunities that are going to pop up, but if you're just kind of sitting back and thinking everything is going to stay the same, you're kind of going to get left behind.
Well, I guess my follow-up to that exactly is, today versus even 365 days ago, do you feel like life in disc golf media content is a little easier, or is it a little tougher, or drastically easier or tougher? We compare it to a year ago.
It's almost a mix of both. For us, last year was our best year financially that we've had, but and also it seemed to be almost our easiest year, oddly enough. I feel like we did less. Like there were years, like 2023 was by far the hardest year for us. That's when we were covering FPO Chase at every event, and we're doing next day. And then we were also working with the PDGA to do a lot of their events. And then we also were partnering with other disc golfers to help them put content out themselves. So we stretched ourselves so very thin. and we were dangerously close to being negative at the end of the year to show for it. So from that, we learned, what makes more sense to do, which events will be not just profitable, but will help grow the brand. And then you just kind of divvy it up from there. So we then stopped going to the West Coast as much for those events for the Pro Tour because financially it didn't make sense for us, or it was just too expensive. We took on events that were bigger. We also took on events that were smaller at a lesser cost because we were able to bring partnerships from growing our brand throughout what we did in 2023 and 2024, which made it easier for 2025. So I think from day one of 2025 to where we are today, there's definitely been some changes, but I think the partnerships that we built throughout the year allow us to maybe not have to do every single thing every single weekend, or sometimes 3 or 4 things at an event in order to make it profitable for us to actually stay on the road and make a living.
One of the immediately I think about when you just said 3 or 4 things, what excites you more these days? Is it the shot by shot coverage that you're putting out that's the very repeatable in that sense, or is it all the other additional avenues and series that you dip your toes into or that you go all in on? Do you enjoy the shot by shot more, or do you enjoy all the other, I'll call it random stuff, but all the other things you guys are trying out? Or
the live, honestly, from what you've done.
Yeah, sure. Or even, or would you just rather be live and hand in your camera and walk away at the end of the day?
And walk away. That there is some serenity to just dropping off your backpack and your camera at the end of the day and saying, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Sure.
The live part, getting to be around the players that we've built the friendships with over these last 4 or 5 years is something special, especially when they're having a round that is really a high up there, or sometimes they're down and you can make them laugh because you have that connection and kind of breaks the ice a little bit and helps them. So there's something that's always going to be intrinsically very special about that to me. The shot by shot, we've done it for so many years now that we have a formula where it's become, like you said, repeatable, and we can start to forecast what that's going to actually look like in terms of getting views and reaching out to partnerships and all that stuff, which is great. And that's really what our channel is based off of. For me, I've always been an idea guy. So putting together like the Ace Run Challenge, the Tree Strike Challenge, was all things that I dreamt up of with the help of one of my buddies who actually helped with the Ace Run Challenge. The Too Lazy for 18 series that we started with Braden and Ezra, which we're expanding on this year, is a lot of fun for me because I get to just follow them around for 9 holes and they just bash each other on mics and make fun of one another. And we're trying to put a little bit more on the line this year to make that grow. And then we've got other little things that we're working on as well to introduce this year on the channel. So those things excite me more. They're not going to get the tremendous view count. You're not going to get 50,000 views for a practice round unless you're Jomez or sometimes Ezra and Goose. But the fun that I have doing those and editing them and then getting to be creative behind the computer to kind of add little graphics or bring in stupid clips from YouTube to make it all seem funny and have people click on it and like it. That is by far my favorite part. But there's always going to be something about just shooting live in those big moments, being there for Ezra Robinson's win last year, since I've known him since he was 14, and being there for some of the big wins for Isaac Robinson, his first major at WR Jackson. Those are always moments that are going to live in my mind forever.
Yeah, and we've all been so blessed. Although we are working, we've also had front row seats to some of the coolest moments in the sport. Whatever, like you said, a couple of the examples you just gave, and it's been a pretty incredible journey. And it's even crazier to think about 15-ish years ago, there was cameras at like 3 events a year. And now it feels like there's, multiple cameras at every tournament, getting all the way down to your B tiers these days. It's been pretty wild to see the progression over these last couple of decades. How many similarities, whether it's the triumphs or the struggles, how many similarities do you guys fall in line with some of those same touring players? I think of you and Conrad on the road, and then just as you just said, like a Braden Sides. Like, Are we living parallel kind of experiences? It's just you're filming and he's throwing, but there's a lot of other parallel experiences out there.
100%. I just had a weekend that I spent at a hotel with Braden because he was staying with me for the Bainbridge event.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, he split a room with me for Jacksonville as well. So it's funny because we talked about we at some point want to do something with Braden where he goes around and he has a practice round or something with a player who maybe doesn't necessarily always make cash or is kind of on that fringe line, and just talk about like keeping it real. Like, how are you getting to the next town? Like, what does it look like this week if you haven't made cash? Like, what the stresses are? Because I get to talk to Braden, and then I get to talk to Gannon. Mm-hmm. And there's a big difference. Sorry, Braden, but there's a big difference between how one is getting from town to town and how the other is getting from town to town, and how they're making that happen and what week to week looks like. And for us being a smaller, media team, for as big as we are, and we are closing in on 50,000. So go ahead, like and subscribe.
Yep. Get out there, click the button.
There's still weeks where it's we're not staying at a fancy hotel. We're trying to find the most affordable option that doesn't have roaches and bed bugs, and that maybe serves bacon at least one of the days that we're there for breakfast. That'd be great. But we have to be conscious and cognizant of where we are and what we're spending and what day to day and week to week looks like. Especially this year, there's a stretch where we're not filming on the Pro Tour for I think 6 weeks. Because they'll be in Europe. And then when they come back to the Midwest, they don't necessarily need us for those events. So that we have to plan ahead of time, budget-wise, what that looks like and try to pick up on other A-tier events to cover that, because we can't just go 6 weeks without a paycheck. It's
right.
Whether you're a professional disc golfer or you're a professional media person.
Yeah, it is, especially like you said, with the various swings and even knowing what the needs are from the Disc Golf Network and the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Obviously, I'm in a similar category along with a lot of others where, hey, we're looking at cost saving measures, and so for the entire European swing, the talent is coming from over there, which of course makes sense. They have the chance to get both Essa and Kristen as two of the people to do it, which is phenomenal. But like you just said, that can be 2, 3, 6 weeks where the tour is just in an entirely different place, and I don't want to say you're scrambling, but you're looking for other opportunities, because as much as you want to be home, being home isn't necessarily, making the paycheck either. So you're looking for all those other creative outlets and measures. Do you feel like A tiers are becoming more likely to seek out coverage these days, or do you feel like there's been a little retraction in that, and in who we'll say can afford coverage?
I think A tiers are always looking for coverage. I think A tiers don't necessarily properly budget ahead for coverage. Mm-hmm. So there's events that we reach out to that are 3-4 months out, and they haven't at all thought about putting any type of budget towards media. Right. So then it falls on us to kind of reach back out to our partners and say, hey, if we cover this event, would you guys be able to kick in for some type of advertising on it so that we can at least, get a hotel and stay there, and then hope that it does well enough on YouTube. And then you hate to do it that way, because obviously if it was up to me, I'd like to go cover A tiers where there are players that maybe you haven't heard of, but you will soon, and you can go cover them. But if you're going out there solely hoping that the YouTube views are what's going to carry your revenue, you need some type of star power there on that feature card to help bring views and cover at least partial of the cost that you're going to be expending out there. Because driving 10 hours to an A tier to then come back home and edit it after filming however many hours, and it maybe gets you $300-400 where you've spent $1,000 to drive out for that week, and food and hotel and gas and everything. That's not a sustainable business model. But
no, yeah, and it is this crazy catch-22, because the A tiers usually, like you said, don't only have the budget, but then they don't necessarily have the players. There's all the want and the desire by both you and them to be there, but again, at the end of the day, it's dollars and cents, and finding those ways to get either creative or to make it happen. And those are the events, like you said. I have very much taken on the mentality of I never want to count on views for anything. Any views or any money that might get made, I feel like I want to treat that as like a bonus. Because if you're going out there and, like you said, something happens or 2 out of 3 rounds get canceled or whatever, I mean, anything can happen. And then next thing you know, yeah, like you said, you're not getting enough views to even cover your expenses for the weekend. Right. And that's a brutal reality. If you're trying to, if you're doing this as a hobby, sure, maybe you don't care. But when you're trying to do this and grow a brand and a channel, like you guys have done very well, you're always trying to make sure that it makes dollars and cents.
Absolutely. And that's why we value so much the beginning and the closing stretch of our season. We have those A tiers that have become staples for us for the last 3 or 4 years. And they've seen the value that we bring and the value that media brings. And then the city also sees it, and the Chamber of Commerce gets involved. And year over year, their pre-planning starts with, all right, we need this much for media. And we get that squared away. And we know that when we reach out to them, at this point, we don't even have to reach out to them. We just tell them, what dates are you doing it? All right, we'll be there. And we know that everything is covered. And that's the great, if everything was that smooth, then this would be a much easier industry to be a part of.
Yeah. Now, if we could just get everyone, to subscribe to that figuratively.
Good luck with that.
Right? Yeah. Just get everyone to, I mean, it's no secret that some events have their ducks in a row a little bit better, have money in the bank, and are, easier to work with than others, and that's just a reality. And I'm sure they probably say that about some of the media channels too. Some are easier to work with than others, but it's not always that simple. And I will continue to make the joke at this point, like if something happens at a tournament and there's not coverage, did it even happen? Right? Like, who cares if some big thing, whether it's an ace or the most epic throw in or a whatever, 17, whatever the case is, like, who cares if it's not filmed by somebody somewhere? It's like it doesn't even matter anymore. And that's not to sound cocky, from a media perspective, but that's where we're at. Everybody has those expectations now.
Yeah, you got to, at the very, very bare minimum, you have to hope that a cell phone is rolling somewhere.
Right.
Captured it, and that can help you go viral. But yeah, it's hard. It's weird because then after the big boom, obviously with COVID and everything, media became more of the forefront, and I honestly thought it would continue to push that narrative forward, but it's regressed kind of back to, I'd say, the levels of when we first got started back in 2018, 2019, where we can still approach different tournaments and say, hey, if we have interest in covering this event, we're likely going to get the yes to, come on out. But the likelihood of them having some type of funds set aside for that is not very much. And I get it also because as a tournament director, your primary job is to make sure that you're sweetening the pot so that you can attract the actual players that come in.
Right.
And if you're taking away $3,000 or something from that pot to then shell out for media, or even $1,500, it makes it that much harder to go out and grow that pot.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, as a tournament director as well, I'm not, feeling entitled like, oh, every TD out there should be, going out and taking out a second mortgage so that they can pay media crews or anything like that. I know that all of it overall is quite the daunting task to take on, but we're seeing these expectations rise year after year after year. And I feel like that's kind of the next notch. You have an A tier, for instance, with no coverage, or an A tier with any coverage, of any level of YouTuber, and there's going to be a bigger draw to the one that's got some coverage or a chance for coverage, because as we know, every given weekend a new star is born, right? And you've seen plenty of that throughout the years. Is there anyone right now that you've kind of seen and you're excited about specifically that you've thought, wow, yeah, I've kind of seen them at the 2 out of the last 5 events, and I think this person really has a future, is going to pop off? Is there anyone that comes to mind off the top of your head? Okay.
No, just kidding.
I mean, hey, maybe you're going to the wrong tournaments if you're just watching all the packs. I don't know.
His local league, that's all he's covering these days.
Yeah. Specifically in the last couple events, I'm really excited to see Cadence Burge again. She's been shooting really well, and Shelby Cowan, who is 16 years old, out of the Alabama area, is a lights out putter. She's still adding distance. She's still getting more and more accurate. So those two specifically in the last couple of events that I've seen, I'd like to see come back. And I'm really super excited to see Rebecca Dawn come back as well this year. We got to follow her a lot last year. We filmed her at Junior Worlds a couple of years back and just saw how smooth her game was. And she has progressed and putting in the work this offseason. It just looks better and better every time I see anything of her pop up on social media. So that's going to be a lot of fun to see her this year.
Yeah, I think Rebecca Dawn's going to be a sleeper this year. Like if we're talking,
well, I mean, didn't she win just like Rookie of the Year or something?
Fantasy stuff? But I've been watching a lot of being involved in Skip Ace. Like I'm watching a lot of these drafts come through, and where people are like grabbing FPO players, she's at the bottom. Like she's kind of like people are I think underestimating her.
Yes.
She might be the Cadence Burge of this year, where everyone's like, oh yeah, Cadence, she's okay, and then suddenly she's taking top fives. Like, I'm not going to be shocked if Rebecca Dawn is going to be a consistent top 10 finisher this year.
Yeah, she's already had a top 5 last year, which was one of her goals.
Yep.
And she continues to put in the work. So I think you're absolutely right. She's going to surprise a lot of people this year, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and then
MPO side, you have the usual cast of characters and everything. The 8-tier swings that we do are primarily the people that you already see on the Pro Tour. So I can't really be like, oh, well, keep your eyes out for Garrett Gerthy, because I think he's got a bright future. This young guy, he's just out there being double G. Silas Williams and JJ Campbell out of the Southeast, I think, are names to keep an eye on as well. They're both super young. They show up at all the 8-tiers that we do. JJ won the Rocket City Blast off of the chase car that we covered last year in Alabama. He's still very, very young, putting it all together, but has all the raw tools that you see, that you look for. So Silas as well. Silas is more, I think Silas in his head is already there. He just needs to put it all together physically, along with the confidence that he already has. And when he does put those two together, it's going to be special to see.
Yeah, I think he told me about it in back in December at Gainesville.
That sounds absolutely like something he would do.
Okay, so yeah, lots of great talent, and I've said it for years. I think that helps do my job in the booth, and is being at these tournaments, getting in that post-production work, hanging out on some of these leader chase cards, and seeing some of these players as they're kind of grinding, we'll call it the minor leagues, even though they're 8-tiers, but they're, grinding their way through. And then when they pop up and they're on a chase card or a third card or even a lead card, it's like, oh we saw that coming. People like you and I have had, some of these other events to get to know and see some of these players. And I think that's one of the most fun things about, our job, really, and wearing that post-production hat, is come later in the year, or when they, reach that bright spotlight, you're like, yeah, we called that. And we've got some of their, first ever round on footage. We have that over on our channel from 2 years ago when we said this.
And when the Pro Tour comes calling for that footage, you charge them.
Or when they just steal it and just help themselves to it.
Yeah. Charge.
Either way.
Big money.
Either way. You're so
Either
kind.
way.
Yeah,
we just had Joey Buckets on coverage this past weekend for the Open at Tallahassee, and we were reminiscing about how Ace Run Pro was the first time that he was ever on footage during the NADGT Final 9.
Okay.
Back at WR Jackson. So it's fun to see those, the full circle moments for a lot of these players that you've been a part of, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, and specifically NADGT, I think of meeting Kyle Klein at a regional event in Indiana 6 years ago now. Because I remember it was my 40th birthday, and I'm meeting the next, phenom, but meeting Kyle Klein, then obviously to go on what he has gone on to do.
That'd have been 7 years ago, Terry.
Whatever. So not yet. It was still 6 technically. We're not there. It was August.
Let him have it, Johnny. Let him have it.
Anyway.
You just turned 48 in August.
No, I don't.
You just did, didn't
No,
you?
no. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, you
What
turned
year is it?
Well,
Oh, God, I hope I didn't.
2025 would have been your last birthday. You were born in 78. So you're 47 right now. You're going to be 48.
Yeah, see? So I got some time. Simmer.
I don't know
so
about
7
that,
years ago.
7 years ago.
Anyway.
I got to keep you grounded. You got to keep you grounded.
Right. I got carded for beer today, which I didn't
First
even
of all,
make
why are
the
you drinking?
joke.
Why are you day drinking, Terry?
Did
you know we were talking to Felix? Is that what?
It was this morning, all right? It was 9 o'clock. I had a reason.
You thought like, I don't know if I'm going to get Felix or Conrad. I better start.
No, but I was like, what are you doing, lady? This is silly. Anyway.
Their job.
Conrad's still adjusting to U.S. time after being in New Zealand for however many weeks.
Right. Real quick, let's backtrack to Puerto Rico. You were there. You got to mix a little business with pleasure, of course. Family and everything else out there. But where do you feel like, and speak to whatever you can without sharing any maybe of the. I don't know if they have secrets, but where do you feel like Go Throw really came into the last year and made the splash, having a series of their own events, so to speak. And, there's a lot of speculation whether trying to take over Pro Tour or supplant them and all that other stuff. But we saw this series of events. What do you feel like and you were involved with a lot of them, if not all of them. So where do you feel like the traction is? What should we be looking forward to moving forward?
Well, they saw some successes for sure. I think there was kind of a mix of unsanctioned and sanctioned events they ran, and I think the plan is to do all unsanctioned for the U.S. stretch at least this year.
Okay.
So the players just seem to gravitate a little bit more towards that. And with anything, it's everything. You start off a new idea and everybody's buzzing about it, so you have the bigger names show up, and then you kind of see as you go throughout the season, some of that seems to dwindle off a little bit. But I think that they're learning and they're growing. It was a new title to it, but it's something that they've been doing for a couple of years now, is kind of doing those bigger A tiers, and they weren't doing unsanctioned event, but they were doing a lot of those events as A tiers in the past. So they just kind of grew with some of the course owners and some properties that were willing to take them on and kind of help move along with the tour itself to bring the unsanctioned side of it. So for us, we're looking to partner on a lot of those events again this year. I don't think we're doing the Cactus Rock one, but we are doing one pretty much in our backyard, which we're very excited about, the Cherry Blossom Open, which will feature the new course out in Covington that was built out here, which the Robinsons are there almost every day in the off season because they love it so much.
Wow. So
that'll be in between the Louisiana event and the Charlotte event. So that's one that we're excited for. But yeah, it's just a great excuse for me to go to Puerto Rico every year. I know that because that's one of the events every year. Yeah. And it's great to see that event grow year over year. And next year, they're looking to possibly expand it to 2 courses. And one of the courses is being worked on now, which is the El Estadio Olímpico, which is where the Olympic athletes train in Puerto Rico. And there's more elevation that they can utilize for that land there to put a bigger and more impressive course at.
We'll fit right in. All those other Olympic athletes.
Right. Yeah, of course, I've been so excited about what we've been seeing from the Asia Tour develop. My question to you is, who should be going to Puerto Rico? Who should be going to some of these other events, international otherwise? Like, what is your, who's the target market in terms of the players? Who do you think should be absolutely attending those, and why?
To me, I think everybody should be trying to get to them. We've had an event reach out to us recently that's based in Mexico to cover an A tier there this year that we're in negotiations with. The Puerto Rico event just seems to make sense to me because it's at the end of the year. Everybody's burnt out. It's not a grueling event, but it's a chance to go to Puerto Rico and be there for an event that's still going to pay you a good amount of money. And the hospitality there, most of the players get free hotels and discounts and all that stuff to get there. It's pretty cheap. So we've had bigger names get there, and every year that we do it, the players that are there then tell the other players, you really need to come to this event. So every year we've heard more and more players, and I'm pretty sure this year the Robinsons will be there. More than likely Braden Sides will be there. We're trying to get Gannon to come on board as well. So some of the bigger names to come on down and join the players that have already been there, like the Kales and the Will Shoestreaks that show up to this event year over year. And that just helps the entire community because they're incredibly excited to be able to share in this game. And Juan Pablo, who runs a lot of that, has the youth group that he's taken and grown from the ground up. And now he's taking those youths to Junior Worlds. So Puerto Rico has representation at Junior Worlds now and some of the other amateur events throughout the U.S., which is great to see from something that started from small C tiers to now the first A tier ever on the island. So, like you've seen the explosion with the Asian disc golf scene. It's the same thing. There just has to be pros that are adventurous enough to go out there and kind of take a look, and then when they see what the experience is really like, be able to tell other players you should really look into this, and that's how anything grows. Disc golf is still so much a word of mouth sport, even in 2026. It's still the way it more organically grows is that way.
Yeah, I think these experiences, I mean, you see the quote unquote Instagram worthy photos and videos, but then when these players talk about the hospitality, they talk about the extracurriculars off the course, the sightseeing, the tours, all the other fun that can be had that's not just on the course. And I feel like all of those things combined really pull in and make that experience. And whether that's Puerto Rico or New Zealand or Asia, whatever, those are, like you're saying, those are word of mouth moments. And I love watching those continuing to blossom and grow. And I was just saying actually to Parker Welk yesterday, I said, we're at this point where our off seasons, they're getting crunched for time. There's hardly an off season anymore. A few people to take a few weeks off, but we have so many fun things going on.
Well, I think there's off seasons, but there's different areas for the off season. Like you've got TDU now, you've got Southeast Asia, you're going to have the Mexico area, because all these other places, I'm not going to be shocked if you see something in, when it finally spins up, Southern Europe. Like once disc golf spreads there, hopefully in the next 5 to 10 years, off season in Northern Europe, not so much fun. Off season in Southern Europe, maybe a little bit more fun. But I just think everybody is looking at the Pro Tour and working around that schedule.
Well, and that's what I mean is we're to that point though, there's going to be no longer an off season. And that is what I'm getting at is we're so jam-packed. Everybody is now scheduling around when the Pro Tour starts and ends. And this is awesome. It's unlimited opportunities to go to all these different places now. But it feels as if it would be real quick to blink and be like, oh, yeah, I really didn't have an off season. I mean, think of Kat Mert. She's such a great example. Going down to New Zealand, playing there, coming then to an event in Wisconsin to do one of our indoor events, which are gaining traction throughout different parts of the country, having an indoor event here, and then next thing you know, she's going to be in Florida and ready to go to kick off Florida. Or maybe there's an A tier that she warms up with.
She was just in Tallahassee.
Yeah, she was just in Tallahassee.
So that's kind of my whole point is the off season might be a misnomer pretty soon because it doesn't feel like we're going to have one for the players that are have the gumption and the need, the need or the desire to be like, hey, we're grinding every weekend.
People trying to build their brand still.
Yeah. So exciting times. It also probably means more work for us, which is good.
Exactly.
Right.
But if there's more opportunities, if you don't have to necessarily do all of the Pro Tour stuff because you can say, I'm going to do 2 weeks in Europe and then I'm going to go do 2 weeks in Mexico because those become viable options. That's fantastic. We're obviously not there yet, but we don't get there unless these other areas are taking on the task of trying to build that up themselves and get it to the level where it becomes attractive to the bigger names to go out and actually try these events.
Right. Yeah. It's growing and it's all good. And players have more options. Media crews can grow and have options and or develop more media crews. Like I see a lot of positives here coming. Let's get to just a couple of the specifics. Share what you wish regarding this last weekend. we don't even have to talk about necessarily the results, depending on what you've got released or what your release schedule looks like.
Well, we're going to talk about the results, but maybe when he's off.
Yeah, so you guys are going to spoil it.
Yeah, we're going to spoil it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
I know. It pains me to do so. But what takeaways or stories from this weekend or anything that you want to interject or maybe look out for when coverage does drop? Kind of set it up for us.
Yeah, this was one of the wildest weekends we've ever filmed.
Mm-hmm.
It started off like normal Florida weather, 75 degrees. Everybody's loving life. First 2 rounds were great. It was a tight battle, really across 4 or 5 players. The chase car did definitely get involved the second day and the last day. But the third round, we had tornado warnings that caused about a 3.5-hour delay for the MPO card to go off. And that caused some drama because the tournament directors were there and basically telling the players we're likely going to try to get 13 holes in for the lead card. We need to get them through 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then pretty much anything that they play from 9 on will be counted. Anything that's not played will then be dropped off of everybody's score. So everybody kind of went in with that mindset.
Okay.
We got to hole 14 and 15, which we really thought was going to be about it because it was already dark at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And play continued on. So there were 1, 2, 3, pretty much 3 consecutive holes, big swing changes that affected the leaderboard from 1 through 3.
Okay.
And this is all happening as it's getting darker and darker and darker. So by the time we get to hole 16, good luck seeing it on our coverage because our cameras didn't pick up squat.
Sure.
It is pitch black. 17, you're going to see some tee shots and you'll hear some stuff. You may not see the actual disc.
Mm-hmm.
18, we filmed the tee shots, but we didn't bother zooming in because you can't see anything. And then I had to film the closing out putts on my iPhone because it was the only thing that actually grabbed any kind of light.
Sure.
Wow.
At that point to see the closing stretch. But yeah, it was basically Joey Buckets and Paul Kranz that it came down to. And there were, like I said, multiple holes towards the end, especially as it was getting darker, with really, really big putts and 2-stroke swings on multiple holes.
Did they, and maybe because we won't be able to physically see their faces, were they all in trying to complete every hole? That were they, or
because we know that the camera operators, you guys pick up a lot of stuff when the record button isn't pushed,
right?
So you can hear what the players are really thinking versus, after we say, action, so to speak. Yeah, were the players excited to be playing at this point, or were they ready to be done?
I think it was 50-50 once we got past like hole 15. There comes a part at Tom Brown Park where when you cross over to hole 16, you're crossing the road, or you can make a right and just go walk down hole 18 and get in your car.
Right.
I didn't think we were going to cross the road. I think at least 50% of the players didn't think we were going to cross the road. Specifically, the 2 that were battling for the win, that were within a stroke of each other the entire time. I think the other 2 players were like, "Oh, let's just keep going," and they ended up probably playing a little bit more loose and freely because of it, and they ended up like birdieing out with, I don't know how, we were playing glow golf at that point.
Right.
But it was definitely 50-50, and I think the mindset and the expectation was that we were trying to get to 13 for sure, and then maybe 15 we would call it and walk on. So I was as surprised as anyone that we kept going after that point.
Okay. And I apologize. I've been deep in my own editing life with barely taking a breath. MPO lead card for you guys. Were there any other crews? Were you guys doing any FPO with somebody else anywhere else? Like what was the media setup?
It was Disc Golf Van Life does a lot of that Southeast swing, so they were out doing the FPO.
Okay.
For that one. And then my catch cam, who was Anthony, who stepped up big time and helped out for this event, was able to capture some of the stuff on the second card as we were backing into them.
Sure.
So there'll be some clips of the second card and guys that were chasing from that, as well as he got up to their card for their putts or their second shots and all that stuff that we cut into the footage.
Okay. Very cool. And release schedule, where are you at on that so everyone knows?
Yes.
Roughly.
It will be released, Terry.
Hey,
It will be
let me
released
be
indeed.
very clear.
Hey, honestly, I bet you editing those last like 5 or 6 holes is the easiest thing you're going to do.
Yeah, like can't see, delete.
Oh, whatever.
Can't see, delete.
Just, you know.
Dump
No,
it all.
and be very clear. You're not there is zero
off his case,
undertone
Terry.
of pressure coming from me as I'm trying to edit my brains out for all this stuff I have in the queue. So I'm just trying to help you get it out there so that when people ask, we can point to roughly.
I'd say soon. I have to still edit the practice round that we did.
Sure.
We did it was doubles. Yeah, it was doubles that we did, and we did 9 holes of alternate best shot and worst shot doubles as like a practice round, just to do a fun format.
Okay.
The round footage is done. It's actually ready for commentary, which we are planning to do commentary for tomorrow. So if all goes according to our quote unquote plan, it would be this weekend coming up. We would start dropping all of that stuff. We just got done with Reckoning on the River stuff, which I had one day to get the audio done for that. And on that one day, my water heater decides to explode. So I'm trying to do commentary while there's a plumber working on my water heater in the garage and it's spewing water everywhere. And then the first comments we hear, God, this commentary with the lip smacking and this. I was like, you sons of... I'm like, we didn't have our audio set up because my house is falling apart as we're trying to get this done. So I grabbed the first mic that I could. I didn't have my windscreen and the fancy headsets and all that stuff. We just put it together because I had to drive 6 hours the next day starting at 7 o'clock in the morning to go to Florida to cover the next event. But nobody ever sees that stuff.
I know, and I was
see
just
the
going to
release
say,
date.
nobody in the world
cares.
Well,
sorry.
No, sympathizes,
Yeah.
empathizes, and more than me, because
yes.
just when like the dumbest, worst possible thing could go wrong, it does. And as Johnny just said, the internet, they don't care. They don't. All they care about is where is my free next day instant high quality coverage. And but yeah, there's real people and real life scenarios behind every single video you put on your channel, and I'm not whining or making excuses, and I know you're not either, but those are some of the realities.
But have you ever accidentally gone live with your commentary? Just curious. Like, have you ever accidentally streamed it to YouTube?
What an idiot would do that?
I don't know. Who would have done that a couple days ago?
How's that even possible? I don't know.
The tool that Terry uses, he also doubles up with sometimes if he's remote with me. So we'll and streaming live, things like that for the podcast. So yeah, so Terry accidentally forgot to turn off the live portion, so it streamed. So the commentary was being streamed to our Smashbox channel. This
Not
weekend.
Even my own channel, for God's sake.
Not even his own channel. I know. Thanks, Terry. Thanks. We appreciate the extra views. Maybe a couple subs you got. But yeah, so you and Parker did a live commentary for one of the memorial rounds.
Yeah, so I used at that point I was using Riverside, which a lot of people use for podcasts and whatnot. Yep. And Parker and I, he's obviously in Arizona. I then did a screen share, so we're watching, the third round at this time. We were watching the third round together, doing the commentary. And when I hit the record button, that actually also published to go live on the Smashbox channel, because the last time I used Riverside, it was to join Johnny. And so the link was already still there. And so, yeah. So people got to watch live behind the scenes commentary, and then the video released the next day. So that was a new one for me.
Nice. Well, it's a special Smashbox exclusive there.
Bingo.
That's right.
Bingo. Right? Like, so
we don't even charge for that. Gosh.
No.
Yeah. Usually when we mess up, we put it behind the Patreon wall and be like, "Here you go, guys, enjoy."
Yeah. This. No, and the funniest part is I got done recording with Parker. And I picked up my phone for the first time in an hour, and it said Smashbox like live, and there was like 3 different alerts. And I'm like, what did that idiot do? Is he like working on something? Maybe he was practice. I don't know. Maybe he was playing around on the channel or doing something. And then a few minutes later, it dawned on me that I had gone.
So
actually
the first thing he does is blame me,
right.
And then not look in the mirror, but. Yeah.
You and Conrad operate the same, I'm sure.
Dude, we're missing a camera battery right now. I was like, I swear I didn't lose this battery. I know. When I pack my batteries away, they are where I put them.
Right.
But I can't find it, and he can't find it. So eventually somebody's going to be right.
Even though it's on the fairway of hole 16 in the dark from the other.
Oh my God! Nah, I didn't have it for that because that's when I noticed it. Because in Jacksonville, I was like, "Hey, we're down a battery."
Somehow it's under your front seat. Yeah, it's under your front seat.
It's probably in the van somewhere.
Yeah,
we'll find it.
Yeah, and funny enough, that's something else I learned when packing yet again for the long trip. International trips where they're a little bit more strict on some of the carry-on weight, and you have to have the batteries with you, and yet batteries are obviously some of the most heavy things that you can bring along. So then I'm sitting there, well, do I need this many batteries? Well, what if I don't? And yeah, you go through a whole, checklist of things of like, well, what could go wrong, and how do I get a new battery? And yeah. All right. Well, how can people support you guys and your efforts? Where can they find you? Give us the whole spiel so that people can go out and continue to support you guys.
Yeah, we're pretty much Ace Run Productions across all of our platforms. As I mentioned earlier, we are at 48,500 and change in terms of subscribers for YouTube. So we are very much trying to get to the 50,000 subscriber mark. We are planning on doing giveaways. We're going to announce some giveaways that we did or that we set up for our 48,000 mark. We're going to do another one at 49 and then at 50,000 to help celebrate. That's the best way, is definitely going through YouTube, hitting that subscribe button. Follow us on our Instagram, our X, Facebook. It's all at Ace Run Pro across all of our platforms. And we'll be venturing into Whatnot soon. I've done streams with GoThrow, and I've done streams with Braden and Ezra, and those have been super fun, but they've been running it themselves, and I've just kind of jumped on and said, here's some discs.
Right.
But I am planning to run what will likely be a horrific first one on Friday at 8:00 by myself.
Sweet.
And that's going to be mostly personal stuff, like
T-shirt.
Like a Nate Sexton signed Firebird from 2017 might be going up. And it's like some Vibram discs and just some personal stuff that I have in my own collection that I've had for a while. So if you're interested in getting your hands on some goodies that you might not necessarily be able to, some blanks, all that type of stuff, not just necessarily the Ace Run Pro stamp stuff, but some stuff from my own personal collection.
Awesome.
I'll be doing that on Whatnot on Friday.
Are we going to see a reduction in Whatnots once the tour swings starts? Or
it might ramp up because they're all together.
Yeah, and that's what I'm curious about. Are we going to see a bunch of combos then of like, hey, look, here's Luke Humphreys and Paige Pierce doing, a Whatnot every Thursday night or whatever the answer is? Or are we going to see it slow down because the pros are going to be on tour doing?
I think we'll see more.
You think
because
more?
They're going to get together at Airbnbs. And then there's going to be, even if there's 12 people together and they all get on there for, 5 minutes each,
sure,
or whatever the case might be, I think you're going to see them ramp up until everybody runs out of Frisbees. They're going to ramp up.
Yeah. If you have somebody that knows how to run it and kind of takes care of the back end stuff and you just invite more people, it's such an easy way to just grow the audience. And the more names that are involved, the bigger the audience, the easier it is to sell things for these guys versus being behind a table for 3 hours and maybe selling 10, 15 discs.
Right.
Once everybody gets together, people get hyped. Some of those streams are a lot of fun and they go for hours.
Right. Yeah. I've had a lot of fun with them. I've done a couple with Nate Doss. I've done a couple alone. Talked to Avery Jenkins today, who's got one of the, probably one of the more impressive, disc golf collections in the world in terms of cool and rare discs. He was talking about us partnering up to do some stuff, and just that I want to help him out, and then we can also tell a few of the stories, and the backstories to some of these discs. I feel like every Whatnot kind of has their own personality of what they're doing while selling the disc, whether it's stories or are you trying to unload a bunch of just game use stuff or stock that you didn't fall in love with.
Let's do a drunk knot.
Usually it is a drunk Whatnot, or I'm Whatnot drunk.
Yeah, okay.
There's some combo in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's why I went with drunk knot. So
I'd be down for that.
From another.
See, there we go.
From Puerto Rico or from Thailand. There could be lots of combos.
Wherever.
I was going to say, there's plenty of rum in Puerto Rico. I know that.
Less now that you've been there. Hey, I love it. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure to catch up. Thank you. I know, I kind of reached out to you just before we got the show going, but awesome to hear of the again, I'll use in air quotes, the off-season stories, but I know you guys continue to grind throughout, and here we are lining up 2026 and the Pro Tour and everything else that it's going to be, and all of the extra curriculars on top of the Pro Tour. So the grind is real, and you guys are in the thick of it, and I love and appreciate all the hard work and the effort, and then ultimately the output that you guys have. It's awesome to see. So thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks for reaching out. Glad I was able to at least get a shave in before I hopped on.
Look at you, always
don't
looking
need it.
good.
I didn't shave, don't worry.
Shut
up,
for
Terry.
9 years.
I shave twice a week, my friend. Sundays and usually like Thursdays.
Right, yeah. You're going to almost get a prick of the finger with your... Anyway. All right, pal. We will see you. We'll find you on the Whatnot come Friday night, and we'll talk to you then.
That's right.
It's Ace Run Felix on there. That's where we'll be at.
All right, 8 Eastern.
8 Eastern Friday is the plan. Yeah.
That's
if I can figure out how to work this thermal printer that I bought off of Whatnot ahead of time.
All right. If you got questions, let me know. All right, pal. Have a good night. Take care.
All right.
Thanks, fellas. Take it easy.
See ya. Guys out there grinding, him and Conrad, and
putting in work. Honestly, truly putting in. We give each other all a hard time, but those guys, much like a lot of our teams, are just weekend after weekend after weekend.
Well, and to be clear, there's primarily 2 of them, and what they're doing better than most is the extras, doing the fun challenges and all the other things that are going on in addition to the post-production coverage. I always have thoughts of all the extras and then never get around to doing them. And these guys are putting they're putting it into motion, and I love it.
It's not fair they got 2 of them. There's only 1 of you. So
that's right. But yet they're 4 times as smart. I don't know how that, I don't know how that works. It doesn't seem fair.
I do. All right, the 21st Open at Tallahassee, sponsored by Visit Tallahassee Dynamic Discs, a DGMT/Pro weekend. We just talked to Felix about this, but we are going to spoil some results. If you want to wait for the coverage, skip ahead about 3 minutes, we'll say, and you'll be able to do that. So winning this one is one Joseph Buckets. You know, after talking to Felix there, I bet you Paul Kranz wouldn't have minded if it ended after hole 13.
Right.
Looking as on hole 13, Joey took a bogey and Paul took a birdie, which I believe would have put him up 1 stroke, because later on hole 16, the roles were reversed. Paul Kranz took a bogey and Joey took a birdie, and Joseph wins by a single stroke. So, it's got to be rough. I'm looking forward to seeing some of that footage, the way it's produced, because as we know, we've seen some of the Pro Tour events go into the dark, and there's only so much you can do. The Open at Austin rings in my head. Just I think it was 2 years ago, the first time that Niklas won. Right.
So. Yeah, that, or thinking about Idlewild, where we all of there's never a perfect solution, and the person who wins always thinks, I'm glad we played on.
Well, of course, yeah. It feels like all the events that go late are always wooded at the end of their courses.
Right.
It's not like you get into this nice wide open with maybe some street lights, but it's always just, it's like, oh, cool, guess what? The next 3 holes are wooded holes.
Yeah.
18 at Idlewild is a little open.
Sure.
Because you shoot from the inside of the woods, at least the finish is open, but, what do you do? So
yeah, I was gonna say, if we finished, we could finish later at, say, Eureka.
Sure.
Right? The last, every hole almost on that course is relatively open.
Yeah, it's not
not
bad.
a big deal. But you're right. Some of those
you can even get away with maybe a GMC.
But I was just thinking, but you still have 16
is tough. But other than 16, I think 15 and 16 are a little wooded, but you can get away with that. But anyway, Paul Kranz takes 2nd place. 3rd place by 5 strokes to Joey was Evan Scott, who shot a 10 under. Cole Radallen in a tie for 3rd as well at 21 under. Ryan Mon, who again I think is going to be another one of those sleeper players that he's going late in drafts right now, but I think he's going to surprise, and he's going to pop up on some areas. I don't think, if we're talking fantasy here, you're looking at he's a good late round pick for you. The funny thing about Joey's win here is he never once had the hot round. He was 1 stroke off the hot round to Evan on the first round. He was 3 strokes off the hot round to Zach Peters on the second round. And the third round, he was like 3 strokes on 1 stroke off the hot round to Evan again. So, but just the consistency, you don't have to be the best, but you got to be, up near the best every round.
You're saying course records don't win tournaments necessarily.
Not usually. Maybe a third round they do. We'll see. And then we'll go over to the FPO division where Lisa Fakis takes this one down, shooting some really, really good golf. She could surprise this year depending on what's going on with her putting. That's always been her strong suit. So round 1, she was in 5th place, shot a 957. Second round, she jumps up to second place with a 983, and then her final round was a 994. So just progressively getting better to win the event by 6 strokes over Jessica Gerthy. And, Jessica taking a double on her last round didn't really matter because she still had another stroke over Kat Murch, who also took a single bogey on her final round. So third place was Kat Murch at 14 under. Cadence Burge as well in third place at 14 under. And then the Linz twins at 5 and 6. Eliezer Midling at 7 with Alexis Kerman.
Okay.
So that is your Open at Tallahassee. Fun.
Real quick, and as you just saw in the title, I feel like another great guest that we maybe should have had, or you could have maybe next week if I'm not here. I'd love to get an update because I'm genuinely in the dark about the Disc Golf Masters Tour.
Oh,
and
like
I believe
Callie,
that was
maybe?
a stop. Yeah, so Callie McMorrin and where she and that overall series, and I'm seeing more and more posts for it for the schedule for this year. But I think it'd be just great to check in and say, hey, what's going on? Where
I don't know her very well. I've met her 2 or 3 times, but I think that's a guest where I think it's best to have you in here as well.
Oh, don't be lazy.
I'm just saying.
Just
saying.
I'll tell her to call you next week.
That's fine. If she calls me, we'll figure it out.
Well, you got to get on top of it now because it's kicking off the year.
It is.
That's what I'm saying, and I saw it in the title for this last one. But anyway,
yep.
Another event.
Yep, our other event. We've got 2 more events here. The 48th annual Wintertime Open. A few weeks ago, we had Scott Stokely on, and he was talking about Oak Grove Park and all these other places over in California. But he also was speaking of the Stokely Discs sponsored player of Dallas Garber.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who wins this week? None other than
Scott
Dallas.
Stokely.
No.
Oh.
Sorry. Scott's on the other side of the country.
Oh.
Dallas Garber wins this, yes. In a playoff with Josh Anthon.
Okay.
So they both shot 26 under par, but Dallas comes out on top, getting his win over here in the Wintertime Open. And I looked, and I believe this weekend he's playing in like Alabama or something. So long drive between these events. I can actually look at that real quick because I did see his next upcoming event is the Frostbite Open in Alabama. Yeah, I was right. I did a little bit of research.
Look at you.
I know. Third place, Andrew Miranda. Tie for 4th place between Aviel Gomez and Jacob Curtis. You might remember him as Cupcake. 6th place, Cam Rico. Zach Wysocki. A Rico and a Wysocki back-to-back, And it's not
Just
the two that we think.
Just like the...
just like 2017, maybe?
Yeah, exactly.
15?
Yeah,
probably.
14, 13,
20, yeah. We'll have to, I wonder if there's a spot we could look where Rico and Wysocki went back-to-back at any event in the history. Other than this one.
I'm sure somewhere.
Somewhere?
The math would have to assume that. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Either way.
The math has to math, but either way, we have it right now, but it's not the two you think. So also tied for 7th, Ethan Wellen and George Cole. Over on the FPO side, Owen Scoggins continues her reign of terror. She shot 980. She's got a 982 rating. Her rounds, though, 1019, 1,000, and then let up on the gas a little bit. Only shot a 989, so still above her rating, but just coming
over
out
1,000 on the weekend.
Yeah,
too.
just coming out of the gate with a 1019, followed up by God, what was it? She shot at the Memorial her final round like a 1026 or something,
or 1042, something like that. A couple clicks away will tell you, but yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's she clearly is
making me do clicking.
I know. She's clearly doing some work here in the early season. 1042.
1042. So a 1042 followed up by her
1019, then 1,000, and then 989. That old lady's got it.
Is this maybe some foreshadowing to how the season's going to be for her, you think? Or is this just courses she knows?
I'm not trying to downplay Own and
no one can.
As good as she is. But her winning and winning handily is just nothing new.
I know.
So
I'm not even
especially
concerned about
early season with great golf, like I'm not saying she won't go on and necessarily repeat as world champ. I'm just saying I'm also not surprised to see these scores by her.
No.
Like, this is nothing shocking, knowing how good she is.
I'd love to chat with her and figure out and see how she's feeling in general. Like, I know she's had some elbow issues in the past. But
if she's feeling good, she drinks beer. If she's not feeling good, she drinks beer.
Beer, yeah.
So,
second place in the FPO division was Shelly May Lay. Shelly May Lay. Damn it. Shelly May Lay. Sorry, Shelly May.
Shelly May Lee. Shelly May Lee. Yes.
Shelly May Lee.
Yeah.
Then it's not. All right.
No, right.
Okay.
You threw me off.
All right. I'm glad I did. Third place, Violet Main. That is your top 3 out of the FPO at the Wintertime Open. 48th annual Wintertime Open. We're getting close to that. Are you going to go there for the 50th, Terry? Would that be cool?
If I'm in the country, maybe.
Yeah, you could be. Our final event is over in Florida, Tampa, St. Petersburg area, the 2026 Gulf Coast Charity Open presented by the Florida Real Estate Team. So if you're looking for some of that Florida real estate.
Big event, first of all, at 363 players.
Yeah, huge.
This event,
a smaller pro field, but
right, but overall huge attendance, and a little of the backstory in a very abridged version is that seeing the Pro Tour open in Florida, knowing we have a lot of December events and then into the January timeframe, then for the longest time having Throw Down the Mountain, in an earlier time frame. As the Pro Tour rolled in here with both the All-Star Weekend or All-Stars activities as well as then the Supreme Flight, it definitely... It wasn't a seamless transition. I guess that's what I would say. From what I had heard, just knowing there's a lot of history and a lot of, what's the word? Tradition and history, I guess, is what I would say. And there's had to be some massaging and some maneuvering to accommodate for the Pro Tour to come into town. Now, of course, people love seeing the Pro Tour in their state for the most part. But I think it's been an adjustment period. That's what I'll say to see something like this. Because this clearly, 363 players. This is a long-running, very well-established event. So great to see the success that it's having. Anyway, go on with your results.
Taking this one down, Andrew Marweed shooting 34 under par, beating Elijah Ryder Brandt, a name I don't know, at 32 under par. Elijah, I like his PDGA picture that he's got there. It's nice and bright and colorful. It looks like a comic book almost. So Elijah, PDGA number 143853. Damn, a lot of numbers. Congratulations, Elijah's a 1,005 rated player. In third place, Drew Slager. In fourth place, Clay Harvey. In fifth place, Jonathan Crow. And in sixth place, Andrew Cook. Now, talking about the FPO, Hannah Wynn had herself a weekend.
All she does is win, win, win.
No matter what. 995 event rating. I don't know the individual rounds. They're not rated on the PDGA site yet for some reason, but the overall event rating was a 995. Her first round, she shot... she was at 10 under.
With a 9-stroke lead she started herself out
exactly. With. Round 2, she shot 11 under.
That's good.
Yeah. And then I think she slowed up a little in the third round, only shooting a 6 under.
Right.
So 995 rating, which leads me to believe those first two ratings were over 1,000.
Yeah, I'm certainly taking advantage of the layout that provided a lot of chances to go out and get birdies.
Get those birdies.
Yeah. It was on the shorter side. in terms of 51, almost 5,200 feet. So on the shorter side for a course, shorter than Hannah's used to playing. But at the end of the day, most birdies win, and she had no problem collecting them. So a very, very easy win for her.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the rest of the FPO field, I think you're looking at these short courses as an advantage for you, because you're thinking, oh, great, if it's a long one, she's definitely got the advantage. At least the short ones, maybe I have a chance to get hot and run off some birdies. But either way, she wins by 21 strokes over Kristen Knauer. Or maybe it's Kristen Knauer. Maybe the K silent.
Yeah, and also noting just outside of the cache there, someone that I think we're going to see a little bit more, and I say this because I've seen her posted on socials. Cynthia Ricciardi, I believe, has a new sponsor this year. Instead of being with Discmania, which was her last sponsor that we see, I think we've seen her sign with Discraft, and seeing her out there and competing now as well. I feel like we didn't see much of her last year.
She seemed to take a break.
Yeah,
disc golf break.
Looks like we're going to see her back on the tour, but she got to catch up to her teammate. She finished 30 behind Hannah Wynn, who, again, just destroyed those courses. Excuse me, making it look very easy, apparently. Okay.
Yeah, that's about all. That's all we have for results. There wasn't really much news either. I think last week we talked about how the PDGA, the World's registration, was posted, and I think there was just some more details about that that were released. So other than that, no real news. There was some sponsorship news. Speaking of Dallas Garber and Stokely Discs, Connor Rock was picked up by Stokely Discs. So we have got two players now sponsored by Stokely Discs. You've got Connor Rock and Dallas Garber.
Connor Rock or Connor O'Reilly?
I'm sorry, you're right. Connor O'Reilly. Okay. My bad.
I was going to say, I don't think I saw that one.
No, yes, you're right. Connor O'Reilly. Okay, my bad. Sorry, Connors.
Yes.
It's as bad as the Evan Smith problem for me.
Yes, saw that as well. So best of luck. I will chime in with it's definitely not sponsorship related, but other news or information that kind of popped off today, and I'd look for your hot take. Did you see?
Okay.
Did you see?
I did. The
UC Maresma tease.
Yes.
What do you think it is?
I have no.
Did he buy Powerball?
No. And here's a couple things I don't think it is.
Okay.
I don't think he bought back Discmania.
I mean, he's a part owner still now.
Correct.
But you're saying
I don't think he has any more control now than.
Okay. I wouldn't take that off the table, but okay.
I don't think it's there personally.
You think he bought House of Dis? Maybe.
Oh, maybe the whole House of Dis has bought it all. No. The video is sitting down with him. Kind of someone's interviewing him, asking him, "Oh, you just did Worlds last year."
Play it.
Nah, I have to find it. Basically asking, we did Worlds last year, it was a great accomplishment. It's something you always wanted to do. Are you done? And he more or less, with a little smirk, is like, you'll have to find out. And then it pops up to February 19th, I think at like 1 p.m. So what do I think it is? I don't think it's the World Tour coming back.
No.
I don't think it has probably anything to do with Discmania, personally. Okay. He's not starting a new brand of discs.
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense to me. These are some things I've seen tossed around out online. I think I'm going to take a wild guess, and totally probably wrong because it's a wild guess. I think he's going to start some sort of team. Like maybe a youth team or up and coming, something in Europe to push more young players in sponsorship. That's a guess. Or maybe
largely based as a marketing team.
Maybe
to market like these, for lack of a better term, these maybe potential prodigies.
Yeah, these potential prodigies. Yeah, that's my only guess. I don't think it's the only thing that in my head that I could think of at the time, and it's probably 100% wrong. just because it's something I thought of.
Yeah, right. I was just gonna say, let's check your track record.
Check my. I got a good track.
Let's go to the scoreboard.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen a couple different people guessing, and all of their guesses didn't feel right in my gut.
I was gonna say, do you have any? Do you remember any other guesses, or did you just kind of name them all?
I kind of named them all.
Okay.
Like him starting up a new brand with who just left Prodigy from over there? Seppo Pai. Yeah, him and Seppo starting a new brand together. And I'm kind of like, no. Why would you start a new brand when you're part owner of a brand already?
Right.
Like that to me, that's why it doesn't make any sense. And I don't think he's going to another company. I don't think maybe he's going to start up. The other thing I was thinking is starting up like a junior tour over there. I know they've got like their big junior event. They're kind of their European major. They've got their big European AM major. Maybe he's starting some sort of AM or junior tour. That's what I think it's probably more focused on. That's just my guess, though. How about you? Did honestly, you hear anything?
I saw the video.
Yep.
And the second I shot it off was the second I stopped thinking about it. Okay. Only because I'm busy.
I know.
And I thought, I don't have time for your guessing games, you see. Clearly, he's a marketer. He always has been. And that was what set Discmania apart for a number of years. Most of you guys weren't around at that time. Marketing. But Discmania really leaned into some next level marketing in their early days, and it absolutely set them apart. So to see this angle even of announcement or tease doesn't surprise me. Now that I've thought about it for all of 2 seconds, I don't think it's crazy if he came back and said, I'm regaining full control of Discmania. I don't think, I'm not saying that's happening. It would not be crazy to me though. If there's any truth to the idea of these companies not being valued and or thriving, like many have said, and he could buy it all back for a bargain, it just wouldn't surprise me. I think he is sitting on a significant amount of cash for selling, and why wouldn't you buy your baby back at a
baby back?
Yeah, Chili's. He's gonna go to Chili's if he makes it from the announcement from a Chili's. I bought my baby back, baby back. Now there's your marketing. You see,
that's
really
right.
Clever. No, if you could buy it back anyway. So that just dawned on me now. Possibility. I think even way less likely. He's gonna say, "I'm gonna start playing MP40." Even though he retired, from playing competitively 10 years ago. I think it'd be funny for him to be like, yeah, I'm going to go out and actually play.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, because the guy's quote-unquote retired, right? By his own words. So why not go out and play for fun and, be competitive, where he'd be very competitive in MP40. He's with, I know it doesn't look like it because he's in 10 times better shape than us. He's within like a year or two of us, age-wise. So that would be kind of fun to see. I don't think that's happening, but that one just came to mind. I would pivot slightly from your thought about maybe a junior team. I could see him just having an overall marketing department / company, because that's where his specialty has been. That's where Discmania's specialty has been. So if he came out tomorrow with, because he's helped with Disc Golf Park and all these other like sub brands, if he came out tomorrow and said, I'm Disc Golf Marketing, and like that was his company, like that's the name. Like again, being a little direct here, but so that wouldn't surprise me if something like that became a thing where not only is he doing marketing, but the marketing then goes hand in hand with full-time event management and tournament directing. Because that fits right into what he's done. That mixes the world tour, which he's done. That's what Spin 18 technically was, kind of the umbrella company overseeing Spin 18, the video production. Spin 18 technically putting on the world tour. Like maybe a shot in the arm, whether it's rebranding or just a revival of Spin 18 as an official company. Those are all things that come to my mind. Event management, marketing and event management comes to mind.
Well, and to me that would be like some sort of tour. like an amateur tour, but that's just my guess.
Yeah, I don't know that he'd lean into amateurs though. I don't see he's so about the pro game.
I agree.
And where Finland is at, not to say there couldn't be, but
yeah, maybe that
I don't see him going am versus pro. But anyway,
do you really think Discmania is worth less now than it was when he bought it? Like,
what you mean when he sold it?
Yeah, when he sold it. I mean,
yes.
Like, you think? See, I think
all of those companies are.
I don't know,
and I think that's just the sheer economics.
I think Dynamic is, but the sport spiked,
and they sold high.
They did sell high, but it's come down. But we're still selling a ton of discs. That's just it. Like, it feels lower because tournament registration is slowing down and things like that. I don't know if that company is worth much less than what he bought it for, though. Like, overall, if you like, I think honestly, Dynamic has seen their sales go down.
I think they're all worth less, and I think whether that's 10% less or 5% less or 50% less, I think they're all worth less. And the real question is, does the venture capitalist group think, well, they're definitely not worth more, we're out? Right? Like, maybe they just want to cut their loss at whatever it is now, even if it's only 5% less. Maybe they're just like, okay, well, this isn't increasing. We want to get out now. And they're willing to cut a deal. I don't know.
It just, to me, that doesn't feel right, because you would think if they're cutting, then Discmania is going to go, like, they would sell Latitude. They would probably sell, I don't know. Just to spin off Discmania doesn't make sense to me when you've got like 4 or 5 other brands there. Considering Discmania is the one I feel like is maybe doing, Discmania and Lat are probably doing the best of those. But I clearly, we don't know. We'll find out in 2 days. Yeah. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to be really disappointed, UC, if it's not something big. If he's teasing, we'll just play pretend, I'm going to make a run at the MP50 World Champion. That's, to me,
it's a bit dramatic.
That's a bit dramatic. So I'm hoping for something big.
What if tomorrow or that day, a couple days from now, I am pulling this out of thin air right now.
Oh, we all are.
Right, but he says, I've accepted a position as some international, I'm going to use the word director, international director, a European director for the PDGA. I'll just make up a title that doesn't exist right now, but I'm making the announcement. I am now the international director for Europe, PDGA Europe. Would that be on par? Would that be?
I could see something like that. I would be okay with that.
Okay,
but
I think the big question is, one of the big questions is it something that he's joining and going to become part of, or is it something that he's starting?
I think it's something he's
starting as the lead, and I lean toward the latter there. Yes.
He's more of an entrepreneur, right. So I feel like he's going to be starting something.
That he, instead of joining forces, he's creating something.
At worst, I think maybe he could be doing something where he's joining something small to ramp it up. So, for instance, we have UDisc over here in the U.S. Sure. If someone were to say, I'm taking over CEO of Disc Golf Metrics.
Right.
And we are going to make that the primary, scoring and league. And that's basically what UDisc is here for Europe. And that is the platform we're going to use. I'm going to run this up just like I did with Discmania, blah, blah, blah. That, to me, wouldn't shock me either.
What if we're going to make up stuff. He said, I'm announcing that I am the new, I don't even know what the term would be. We'll call him head honcho. That I am the new top dog at the Paul Macbeth Foundation or the Ricky Wysocki Foundation. Would either of those?
No, nah.
You'd see him create his own before.
I'd see him create his own.
Okay.
Do some sort of nonprofit on his own. But
I don't want to call it a new division. Yeah, I guess league and tour, I think of are interchangeable. What if he came out and said, hey, we're starting this whole new...
Well, I'm thinking something like almost like what we have for the indoor experience here in Wisconsin and Milwaukee and in the Midwest. He's also been getting into hockey quite a bit. I guess he might even be part owner of like some sort of junior hockey team or
something like that.
Clearly not one of the top hockey teams. But if he was working with them and saying, hey, it would be really cool if we did an indoor stadium series where, next year, all across Europe, Northern Europe, we're going to hit 10 different stadiums where we're going to push disc golf. And it's going to be a tour where the players can come and show this off and promote, market, that type of thing. Something like that spun in my head earlier today, and only because I know he's involved in hockey as well. So something like that. I don't know. I'm excited to find out because UC is a smart guy, and if he's teasing something, it better be good, UC.
Yeah. Well, as I just posted in the chat, now's your chance. Everyone, Smashies, we know you're the smartest disc golf enthusiasts and consumers out there.
Yeah.
Now's your chance to prove it. Put it in the chat right now. It'll be officially time-stamped forever as to what you think it is. And feel free to poo-poo any of the suggestions Johnny and I just made or thoughts, or put it in there what you think it might be. Put it in the chat, and we'll forever be able to go back and say, hey, 2 days before the announcement, right here in the chat, it's time-stamped. I said he was doing blank, and I'm 99% right. Here's your chance. So put it in the chat. Let us know what you think. Chef Aaron, good to see you out there, a.k.a. 67 Vespa. Musket Balls says he set the new standard for what a tournament should look like. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. Obviously, we know that we're going to see some big things in Detroit this year. They have big shoes to fill. The bar has been, set super high. And so far, it feels as if the Ledgestone team is rising to the occasion. Of course, we're a few months out, but we've seen a lot of hype and a lot of infrastructure cost and development already go into that experience. So things are looking good in the right way, but we all know, and this goes without saying, you and I have talked about it for years. Again, hypothetically, Ledgestone team puts on 100% equal the event, the Worlds, that Finland does. Let's just play pretend and say that happens. Let's say the drama's the same. They can't help that. Crazy stuff. Yeah, they can't help it. But let's just say the drama is the same. Maybe even, we'll just say a touch better somehow. The experience is the same. All of these things, just somehow they equally match on 99 out of 100 metrics. They equally match. Finland will then still get the nod because we were international.
Yeah, it's the first international.
Right?
I feel like no matter what Ledgestone does,
it's almost impossible to supersede it.
It's so virtually impossible to supersede it. You would have to have some sort of, to me, I don't think most people see the infrastructure, we'll say. It's going to look good on camera. We'll probably get some little snippets about it during the broadcast. There was 300,000 put in here and 100,000 put over here, and look at all the bathrooms we have, and look at all the food carts and all this other stuff. Great. But 99% of the people aren't going to experience that. Just like 99% of the people didn't experience what Europe was like. Right. All we saw for the most part was a bunch of people in golf. Like it or not, that's what our side, people were over here to see. So the only way that Ledgestone surpasses or even comes close to Finland, because there is this buildup of how great Finland was, even though most of us didn't see it, is if the golf is phenomenal. If we have a 3-hole playoff in FPO and MPO,
sure,
something along those lines.
Yeah, we have another holy shot moment or something.
It would have to be something like that, and that's unfortunate for Ledgestone.
Right. They are up against a very like I said, if they hit even of 100 out of 100 metrics, they equaled the nod's going to go to Finland in that case. But maybe they come in and say, you know what, we surpassed out of 100 metrics, we equaled on 50 and we surpassed on 50, and maybe somehow it's head and shoulders still above the effort in Finland, and it could happen, but it's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie, I had to hold back a legitimate chuckle by Tim Courts on the board, whose suggestion for Jussi was maybe that he's invading Russia.
You never know.
And I'm not going to lie, that's pretty funny. So thank you for that, Tim. Tim, I think you sent me a message recently too about saying you're for sure coming to Thailand in the near future. Super excited about that. I'll spoil something else quickly about Thailand and course development. I know that Avery Jenkins has been talking about a way to get over there. A phenomenal piece of land that I got to visit as well. And I'll leave it all at that for now until I release an interview that I did with someone. But looks like Avery Jenkins, and then I confirmed with him today. I had a talk with him. And it sounds like he's very much gearing up to make a trip over to Thailand to check out some property too. So pretty cool stuff.
Sounds exciting.
When we think about course development. All right. I'm going to check. I got all these notes. I think we covered them all. Asia Tour, I talked about at the opening of the show. UC, we just got done talking about, of course. The only other thing I had on notes is today I received an email along with what I'm guessing is a few dozen others saying from the Disc Golf Pro Tour that our contracts are en route. And
Great.
I'm excited to see it and officially...
Yeah, you
know my role.
You were, my understanding, and this was kind of spoiled in one of the Discords I was in from maybe another commentator, that
you know more than I do.
That you were added, and I didn't hear anything more than you were added to a few play-by-play spots.
Oh.
So, yeah. So you're going to be in the booth, where earlier this year, obviously we talked about how you had talked about how you were going to be primarily on course, you weren't in the booth. There's cost savings and things like that. And then... the Pro Tour hits the lottery.
Oh,
just kidding.
By me being
no Powerball, actually,
that.
literally Powerball, Terry.
Damn.
Literally.
Okay.
No, that. But you and I had always kind of said like that was the plan then. But anything can change. There's always a little bit of movement here and there. And my understanding is, from what I heard, Charlie Eisen had spoiled it, by the way. That he saw that you were in the booth for a few play-by-plays. I don't know what that meant. If that's 1, that's 5, if that's 10, I have no clue because I didn't get into it. But yeah, and again, these things are always fluid. As of right now, you could be in, and in a week you could say something stupid. We could kick you out.
Good call.
There's a really good chance.
There's a really good
chance.
I'll
Tara.
probably say it in Thai too when it's stupid.
Oh yeah.
And that won't make it any better.
Well, they won't know then.
I believe, and I have not seen the updated contract, or have I signed it? Because I haven't seen it. I was last informed that I would likely be involved with 3 additional events from the booth perspective. So
Great.
In addition to the 6 or 7-ish, and I'm not even trying that, the 6 or 7 sideline gigs that I kind of talked about from day one, last I heard, it sounded as if I may be offered what I believe is 3 booth opportunities as well. I assume the booth in Bend, but I don't know that for a fact. I'm just going to say it bluntly. I don't know. I got an email today saying we're going to find out more soon.
All right. We'll figure it out.
And I'm ready because the tour starts in...
Yeah, but like those events probably are later, and you're overseas anyway.
I know, but when is the tour start? Like 8 days? 9 days?
Yeah, I think 9 days. It's like February 26th
or 27th.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm involved with the first event because I'll be in another country.
Or the second one.
Or probably the second one. But so waiting on an official contract, and I believe a lot of I'm sure people who are working the first couple of events at least know that much, but and I know that I'm not, but yeah,
make it
that's
happen.
the email I got today. Because to be honest, I was getting a little nervous.
Well, I mean,
because I was looking for...
You had on-course locked up, clearly.
As far as I know.
As far as we know, yeah.
And then I heard some additions or switches may
shuffling
happen. And shuffling. And
shuffling.
either way, So that's you guys now
Okay.
know what I know. Apparently Charlie knows more than I, which is
Maybe he saw a
surprise
schedule or something that you haven't had a chance to look at.
or received. Okay. Well, so there's some news there.
Cool beans.
Maybe. Unless you hate hearing me in the booth.
That's true.
Then that sucks for you.
Probably.
Too bad. All right. With that, I want to thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate Felix for giving us some insights, kind of recapping the off season, but then also giving us, pulling back the curtain and giving us a little look into 2026 as to what he's got going on, along with the future of Ace Run Pro. Please go out, subscribe to their channel, subscribe to all the YouTube channels, but make sure you go out and subscribe to Ace Run Production as they're on their quest to 50,000. I hope you're enjoying coverage of the Memorial. That's going to keep rolling out in the next few days, and then I'll get right to Chiang Mai. By the time that's up and released, I'll be already recording in the Philippines. So nothing but coverage coming from my channel, continuing over the next 3 or 4 weeks. So hope you're along for that ride. For Johnny V, I'm the Disc Golf Guy. This has been podcast 695, 79. What are we on?
595.
595. We appreciate you. Tonight, one of the giveaways, I know we're going to have a lot to get caught up on, but
I think
tonight
we're going to do 2
specifically-
giveaways tonight.
Okay, well, they'll include a couple of Chiang Mai Open stamped discs that I brought back. Yes, the putter called the Troublemaker, just saying. Brought those back from Thailand.
Feels good in the hand.
Yeah, any line.
Honestly, the plastic feels good. It's very tacky,
Feels
which
great in the
I
hand.
like for a putter.
It holds any line you put it on. Yeah, it's great for like beginners or seasoned players. It's all those things.
Beats in perfect.
Right. But it also
flies great
withstands its integrity.
Yes.
Yeah, it does all those things. So we've got giveaways all the way from Thailand. I got a couple discs that we're going to continue to ship out. So thank you to Aaron and the crew over at the Chiang Mai Open for a couple of the extra discs that I brought home just so we could give them away here on the show. I love it. 595. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the after show. We'll have a giveaway. We'll see you then when you step inside the Smashbox.
Thank you to our $2 and above patrons. Your name is listed below in the credits. If you are interested in being listed as a producer in the Smashbox TV credits and supporting this and other fine podcasts, please visit patreon.com/SmashBoxTV.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Smashbox TV Podcast 595's After Show.
A little out of practice. Not going to lie. So,
I'm still on Thailand time.
it doesn't matter. Nobody cares about your Thailand time.
No, they
Not
don't.
gonna lie.
Nor should they. I finally bought a pair of elephant shorts, though. And if you've ever been there, it's like a rite of it. It's not even a rite of passage. It's just one of those absolute touristy, cheesy things everybody does at some point. Usually, you buy the elephant pants, and I bought the elephant shorts. I'll probably buy the elephant pants next. It's just they're 100 baht, which is $3.30. And everybody, I think, that's ever been to Thailand has bought a pair of these at some point. So I finally got some. It took me all these years, but I bought in, and well, I don't wear pants, so.
How long? I have a question. Two questions. One's really dumb.
Okay.
It's great. It's great.
So normal, yeah.
How long would it take us to quite literally raise $1 million for charity? Like if we streamed for how many days straight? $1 million.
If we streamed, what?
Like just
I think it's imperative what the charity is. Because if we're raising
it's a great, whatever, not a disc golf, like a great charity. Go to Charity Finder and pick one of the best charities out there. Whatever that is.
How long would it take the two of us?
Yeah, if we're streaming.
If we were to, I'm gonna say we would have to stream for like at least a month straight, and I don't even think we would still raise it.
Wow. There's a gentleman on YouTube. His name is Tom Grossi. He streams every Packer game. He just hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Okay.
He streams, he kind of just watch-alongs with every primetime game.
Okay.
Yesterday, he started his $1 million stream. It's the second year in a row he's done it. In the first hour, he got $100,000. By the 48 hours, he was at $335,000.
In 48 hours.
In 48 hours. So he's just going to stream constantly until, and it's ad free. It's all that stuff. It's literally just to raise money. He's raising it for, I think, undue medical expenses where they buy medical debt from hospitals and then they pay it off. So he's hoping to get it done in about a week. That's his goal.
Okay. Yeah.
Because his goal was like 8. I think he did it in 8 days last year. This is the second time he's ever done it. But I was just thinking, I'm like, how long would it? It would take,
and I don't even think a month.
No, yeah, I doubt it. Yeah.
I don't know that we'd ever get there. Maybe take a full year of nonstop streaming.
Just nonstop 24/7.
I do think maybe it's silly, and I know you're just asking generically, but I do think the charity matters so much in that case. Like some people are going to rally around donating to a certain cause and charity way more than another, and so I think that definitely matters. In terms of if it would even be practical or feasible to generate that kind of support. But
yeah, no, I get that. I just thought it's a cool thing,
right?
He just hit literally just hit 1 million. He's got 1,003,000. He said so. He just hit it with like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I want to say every year, but this is the second year he's done it. Right now, honestly, I think he's doing a watch along of Spaceballs, and he. Earlier today, he was just like, you know what? We're at $300,000. I'm going to stand until we hit the 333. So it was like an hour and a half of him, like just 2 hours or whatever it was, of just him standing and talking to the chat. He's usually got about 1,400 people, anywhere from 1,400 to 2,500 people watching. He's a pretty popular YouTube personality. Obviously, he hit 1,000 people, but he just hit 1 million subscribers. I just thought it's generally a really cool thing. And obviously, he's donating every penny. It's ad free, so he's literally said, "I'm not taking a single dime out of this. It's all just thanks to whatever community and things like that." And I just thought, it's very cool.
I know you just said he does so is his overarching shtick? Is it sports?
Yeah, football primarily.
Okay.
He does a couple. I mean, he does extra videos and things like that. Not just stream along, but he does some comedy videos about sports. They're all about sports. He does reaction videos to big things that happen. The Packers today dropped our special teams coach left a couple hours ago. Actually signed off, and so he got to see a behind the scenes of how he does like his reaction videos. And the one thing I thought was really funny is I happened to catch it as he was doing his video editing. He didn't actually show his screen, but someone's like, "Hey, what are you using to edit?" He said, "Sony Vegas from 12 years ago."
Wow.
And he's like, "That's just what I learned on. That's what I do all my editing on."
It still runs? Do they still support it?
No.
Okay.
I don't think they support it. That's what he uses. And I got such a kick out of that because it looked like, Adobe, some sort of Adobe product, but I could barely see the screen. And no, he's like, I use Sony Vegas, and I was like, oh Jesus, like that's a flash from the past.
Yeah, I never opened Sony Vegas or got to know it, which is probably a good thing in the long run. But I knew it as a possible video editing option many years ago, and so it's funny that it's no longer even really a thing.
No, it's not. So. But no, I just thought that was kind of cool. So if you happen to be interested, I enjoy watching Tom Grossi. I think it's Tom Grossi comedy is his thing, but it's all basically sports related. It's mostly football related. He does it daily. I don't know if it's daily.
I was gonna say, do I recognize him?
No, not at all. He was like named like the Packer fan of the year. A couple of years ago, he got to announce one of the draft picks, and this is just as you can see.
Yeah, he's got 1,500 people watching right now.
Yeah, and he'll just sleep. He's like overnight. He said he's like, he keeps the stream going, but he went to bed.
And he said he went him sleep.
No, you don't get to watch him sleep, but it's weird. He's got some shtick with his feet. Every time someone donates $500, he'll show his feet. It's goofy. But and he said he woke up and somebody made a $25,000 donation overnight.
Okay.
Yeah. So he just sits and chats and watches. Like I said, I think right now he's literally Spaceballs is free on YouTube to watch right now. So I think that's why he picked that one.
Okay.
So everyone could watch along and. He can't show it legally on the screen.
Oh, his feet counter is at 473.
Oh, so he's shown his feet 473 times. That's 473 $500 donations. Because I think it's a $500 donation to show. So if you donate 1,000, he'll show you his feet twice. If you show it, whatever. Okay. And he's got different levels.
Wait, can I sell my feet pics right now?
You might be able to.
All right, first person.
Yeah. When he gets to 500,000, I'm interested because he said he's going to do that workout. Remember that old
Insanity or P90X?
Yeah, it's Insanity. He's going to do the Insanity workout.
Yeah, live Insanity workout.
Live Insanity workout. That's kind of got a kick out of that. Just random stuff he does, but it's for a good cause. Like it's called Undo Medical Debt. Okay. And apparently they buy it at like 100 to 1 is what they usually buy it for. So so like if there's $100 million, they'll offer $1 million for it. And so that's the medical debt.
And the best part about that is it doesn't expose any of the just blatant, what's the best word? Just overall bullshit that our medical system is in the first place.
Correct.
The fact that they can sell off the debt for 100 to 1 in the first place.
Every couple hours, he'll kind of, somebody will ask him and he'll talk about it. He's like, I can't do anything about the industry. He's like, but I can do this.
Right.
And just seems like a really good human being. Someone that I started watching some of his videos earlier this year and kind of got on the train a little bit. I have not made a donation, but I'm thinking about doing that tomorrow.
Nice.
So
love it.
Yep, it's cool stuff.
Dyer's Guild, Dave out there, who's done a ton of stuff to help me out here recently, including we're working on some new graphics for which will make my editing life a little easier when we get those all implemented and running seamlessly. Also created some new patches. Some of you saw the Instagram that I did with Kelvin when we were over in Taiwan, and that then generated a few patch requests, and I appreciate anyone that went out to my website and purchased some. I think we should, I just thought of that. We should make up some Smashbox patches, and I'll talk to Dave about that tonight. And I'll even maybe help make them, like physically, like touch the laser and not burn my finger off. No, I trust Dave. I can't do that. But yeah, maybe we should make some Smashbox patches, and we'll be able to throw those up as an offering in case anybody actually wants to buy a little patch for Smashbox.
Put a drill bit into my finger this past weekend. I was drilling some holes for a drawer to put a drawer pull on, and so I was gripping the drawer, and I was conscious of it. I'm like, okay, make sure my fingers are out of the way.
Yeah,
and I got one, and the other one I'm like, this can be close, but I think if I just kind of pull it off to the side, not enough. I caught the corner. It bled like a son of a gun because not only did it break through the backside of the wood, so there was a splinter of wood that jammed into it, but I also caught it with the drill. It was just the worst of both worlds. I pulled it out. I was like, oh God, that's going to hurt. And so I just wrapped it up, and I was like, all right, it didn't hurt that as much as I thought it was going to hurt, but it bled, and it bled. Fingertips apparently bleed a lot.
All of those years of Guitar Hero, and you couldn't. You
never played
you didn't
Guitar
have that
Hero.
dexterity.
Nope, never played Guitar Hero actually.
I don't know.
Mario Kart though,
right?
Mario Kart. I throw on some Mario Kart.
Is it that time of year that the Tetris World Championships are taking place? Because I feel like that's hit my feed more lately.
Has it? I'm not sure. I haven't,
so I'm just wondering.
It's not in my feed.
You and I have showed it on the show and had lengthy conversations about the Tetris, and I just don't know if this is specifically because it popped somehow into my algorithm, and maybe I just watched one that then fed it more. But I was just wondering if in general it's that time of year when one or two of the major we got to take a look.
I'll Google it.
When I lobbed that one up, we got to
Tetris World Championship 2026.
Yeah, let's just see if that's. Are we anywhere near that time frame?
The classic Tetris World Championships, by the way. February 27th and 28th
in Austria.
That's the featured event. I don't know when.
Oh, and then it shows Phoenix in like
March 13th
3 weeks.
And 14th.
Toronto, Milwaukee, April 24th through the 26th.
Yeah, that's actually that's the Midwest Gaming Expo weekend. I'm assuming.
Okay.
So you can probably qualify at one of their events. I honestly thought about playing a couple of years ago until I watched a kid play.
Yeah, and then
you're like,
no,
I can't.
We're like good for being schmucks.
Yeah.
But we're not like good.
No.
We're like, hey, I can shoot 12 under at league, but then you show up to a pro tour and you shoot 6 over.
100%.
On those courses.
That's 100%.
That's the analogy there.
Yeah, because at the Midwest Game Expo, they've got all these little game challenges. They've got a bunch of pinball ones, which I love. They had a Tetris. They also had a Dr. Mario. And Dr. Mario, I was like, I could throw down some Dr. Mario, I think, with some with some really top-level players.
Is that just
not the top level, but I think good.
Excuse the ignorance here for a moment. Was Dr. Mario just like a knockoff of Tetris? Was it not same concept?
Very similar. Instead, what you had is it was like a jar full of random colored viruses, and you had to stack the colored pill on the colored virus. So you weren't trying to make like rows like you are with Tetris. Instead, you're trying to stack the same color. So let's say you have a blue and a red one, and you drop it on a red guy. Once you stack up enough, it breaks off, and then the blue will fall. You have to figure out where you're putting each one. I loved it because it filled a void in me when I was a kid, and I was really good at it. Like I've yet to find a person that can beat me, but that's not. I have not played a lot of different people. I'm not going to lie.
Your sample size.
There was a while that I was playing online when I think the Wii first came out. They released like some online version, and I kicked ass on it. I was like, damn. Now, granted, there were like you get to some people and they just wipe the floor. You're like, wow. I don't even know how you physically can do that.
Right.
But a lot of people, I was really, really good for an average person, I think.
Normal. Yeah. Right. Again, the analogy.
Not someone who's, dedicating probably all my spare time to it.
But just think about, all the opportunities lost that you did not pursue.
I know. But the great part was when the Wii first came out, I had Mason, and he was really young. So he would just sit in his bouncer or hang out on the floor, and I was on daddy duty, and I had nothing to do. So I just sat and played video games while, my kids, hanging out on the
themselves, yeah.
Basically. Listen, my kid did pretty good. I'm not going to lie. He's doing all right. He just got announced. He made the high honors list, high honors for grades, and it's a big secret, so don't tell anybody. But he made what's called the dean's list, which is like a special. His team votes on like the 2 kids on his team, on the robotics team, and then they go through like special interviews. They can win like the big scholarships and things through robotics. So he was voted, one of the top team leaders on his team, which is really cool.
Yeah, get that money.
They're literally not going to announce it to the rest of the team who won for like another couple days. So we found out last week, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, is that awkward? Like, hey, it's
him and another
kid's smart, and we really like him, but the rest of the team,
Yeah, well, it was him and one of his best friends. Her name is Sophie, who both got elected. So,
nice.
And I don't think any of his friends watch this podcast, so I think I'm good. I think we're solid.
Think they're safe. I don't know. I just learned that my youngest is in a video broadcasting class. That's called.
That's pretty cool.
I have truly still no idea because, of course, she won't share with me.
Nicolay has a huge video broadcast room.
Yeah,
it's bigger than this.
It's an actual class, and I'm like, 105,000 subscribers. You and your teacher isn't having me guest speak. And she's like, no, Dad. I was like, all right, fine.
It's weak sauce.
Yeah, jerks.
Weak sauce.
Yeah, I don't know, but I am excited to hear as to what they're doing, what they're working on. And all I'm thinking is like, hey, just so you know, if like you need any help, and I know I'm still dad, but like I know more than most dads. I'm not a pro here, but I know more than most dads when it comes to, putting together some video
Depends
stuff.
what they're doing. Like if they're doing like news stuff, I don't know.
Correct, but I'm just saying in terms of like, hey, whether it's an edit, a basic edit, or equipment, like I kind of have that stuff. Like I could help you out. So we'll see if I get involved.
Tim says my kid must get his brains from his mom. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. The Tetris World Championship, by the way, is June 5th and 5th through 7th in SoCal.
Pasadena Convention Center.
So, yeah.
The top players, including defending champion Alex T. Oh, he just goes by Alex T.
Everyone knows Alex T. How do you not?
Competing
the
on
fact
the
that you had to
original
read
1989 NES Tetris version.
Did you get to bring your own controller?
I wouldn't think they would let you.
Probably not.
Because you could easily modify it
of some sort.
And they do the whole rolling thing, right?
They hold it
sideways.
upside down on their legs and they kind of roll it.
Yeah, they roll it. Yeah, it's wild. So, all right, what else do we got there? Vespa says, gentlemen, ladies, got to run. Terry, I will reach out soon. Take a look into the course possibilities for Kotao. Yeah, please do. I know courses are continuing to develop, and like I said, Avery getting involved with one over there. But if there's more land and somebody that's interested in having a tourist activity added, you and I both know disc golf's a good thing to look into. So if I can be of any help, let me know for sure. If she can edit, put her to work. That's definitely a good call as well.
Tim said he would pay not to see your feet.
What? Okay.
Yeah, so
pay up, otherwise they're coming out.
Otherwise you're gonna see some tootsies.
Dogs are coming out.
You're gonna see some tootsies.
Yeah, good call.
I say, other than that, what's been going on? I did putting league. You met us up there the other night.
Yep, just hung out. Saw a little. We learned that our friends. A quick shout out. The putting league that we do on
Monday nights.
We do on Monday nights over at OPE. OPE.
OPE.
Like OPE. They made an announcement recently that they are developing a second brewery / tap room up about 2 hours north of here in Appleton, which is exactly where Johnny and I grew up.
Where we were born and grew up.
So
I don't know if you were born there.
I wasn't born
there.
I was adopted. So we learned exactly where they said. He told us last night, one of the owners who disc golfs told us exactly where it was being put up.
And we reminisced about all the places that were there 25 years ago. Yes. Like, right by the old Shakey's?
Right.
Like, Friar Tuck's?
Yes.
That's great.
I love Shakey's. So congratulations to them. That is very exciting. Obviously, not just because they're disc golf centric and owned by disc golfers, but cool to see that the brewery is doing well enough that they can open a second location 2 hours north. And they have...
hopefully talking about doing a putting league up there as well.
Right. And I'm going to real quickly... Brewing. I'm going to read. Clearly, they're playing into the whole Midwest phrasing and whatnot. I'm going to read a few of their beer names, which, especially if you're from the Midwest, you would definitely get these. But a few of their beer names.
I think Ope is like a Norwegian thing.
Like Ope?
Yep. Like, if you're not familiar with Ope, like, it's just a saying that Wisconsinites or Norwegians, for whatever reason, say all the time. You bump into somebody, like, my bad.
Exactly.
Or you can say it almost any way. Like, you can say it angry or happy or sad.
Right. So a couple of their beers. Excuse me, like not excuse me, just excuse me. Like, buckle up, dude. Didn't see you there. Didn't see you there. Just think of all of these with your thick Midwestern, Minnesota, Wisconsin, accents. They have Full Send, which coincidentally is my favorite beer that they make, which is a rye whiskey barrel-aged barley wine at 11.4%.
I just get rum and cokes when I'm there.
That's personally my favorite. They've Ermagod.
Ermagod.
Ermagod is one of their beers. Let's see. Can I pet your dog?
It's a very dog-friendly place.
Yep.
And so there's usually at least one, maybe two dogs hanging out in the bar. You can, if you want, you can pet the dog.
Some of their sours. One of their sours is sorry. Sorry is one of theirs. Yeah, they have actually a bunch of those. Brown chicken, brown cow is another one of theirs. So yeah, it's with a full send. Oh, it just makes my mouth pitter patter is one of their beers. Yeah.
Well, Pitter Patter, I think, is the Canadian beer from Letterkenny.
Okay, I was just gonna say, is that the tie?
It might be Pitter Patter.
Yeah, that makes
so. Either way, it's cool that they're opening up another thing, so it's more disc golfers doing well, businesses doing well. Hopefully, we can spread the disc golf love a little bit. If you happen to be in the Milwaukee area, they're a great they're a great little bar to go to.
Well, and just even more so, I'll just say they are also conveniently located literally just a few minutes from where the Milwaukee Brewers play, which used to be called Miller Park. Now it's called American Family Field, but it's just down the road from Miller Park / American Family Field. So if you're ever in the area for a Brewer game, Ope should certainly be a stop for you. None of this is being paid for by them.
No.
We just love them and really appreciate them. I'm going to put their website in the chat right now in case anybody ever does.
Is that our chat or is that somebody else's chat?
Oh, I just put it in the I put it in the Tom Grossi.
I saw that. That's what I was like. What? Okay.
Should I delete it? Yeah, I probably should. This is kind of random spam over there. And it's funny because it shouldn't have let me even put it in there because it's an actual link. Oh well. Anyway, it's there. And now it's...
You're going to go live
just
on
go live
there
channel? Too. Well, maybe they'll get some...
So if you're on the Tom Grossi channel as well watching, you'll see Terry's link pop up.
Yeah,
well, he's from... he lives in Wisconsin.
So
I think
there you go.
I don't know if he lives up near Green Bay or if he lives kind of near Milwaukee area.
Well, it'll look like a great suggestion then.
There you go. People go to Ope.
Yeah.
Go to Ope.
Yeah. I had the pleasure of spending $498 today.
That's a specific number.
It was $490 plus some fees to sign up my youngest for driver's ed.
I wish my kid would just go get his license finally. Do you know, is there he had his temps. Is there a time that you have
think there is. I don't know if it's 6 months, but I feel like you can't just hold on to your temps for 2 years and then go.
Correct.
I don't recall exactly what it is, but there is some form of expiration. I don't know if your temps are only good for 6 months. Once you've been granted them.
No, they gotta be longer than that.
Maybe good for a year.
Maybe good for a year.
Yeah, that would make more sense. But yeah, I don't know.
Got to get him in there. He just has no urge. No urge.
Yeah, because if I have 2 driving kids before year 1.
Well, you will. I guarantee you will.
It's
just
silly.
he has zero urge to drive. Doesn't want to. So.
Kids these days.
I know.
Right?
I know.
Right? Come on.
Damn kid.
Yeah, so signed her up after I coincidentally also took her to the optometrist because now she's going to need glasses, which she is not a fan of.
About the right age, sure.
Yeah, she's just not a fan. It hit her kind of hard. She's the only one in the house that doesn't have corrective lenses, and she's been getting a lot of headaches lately. We went to the doctor. The doctor hopefully he only took a few seconds to come at a conclusion of either her squinting or something else and said, yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with you, except for you probably need glasses. So the next stop was for glasses. So yeah,
kids,
just add it all up, all on there.
Kids are stupid.
Such a drain on my wallet.
Tell me about it.
Jeez. Yeah.
No, there's actually there's a Reddit room that it's called Kids Are Stupid, and it's just the dumb things kids
right.
Oh look, my head got stuck in this dumb thing,
right?
And
yeah,
stuff like that. Every once in a while it pops up on my feed.
Yeah, well, that too.
Tim says that Tom Grossi lived in New York up until this year. I knew he was in New York at some point. Now he's in Wisconsin somewhere. So, but cool stuff. Cool stuff. So, Terry, we've got a giveaway. We're going to do 2 giveaways tonight.
All right.
We haven't done a giveaway in a little while. We have 100 people eligible for our giveaway.
Yeah,
if you want to be eligible for our giveaway, you just need to become a Patreon supporter, or, like some of the other people, go to smashboxx.tv/weekly giveaways. Fill out the form. You'll get entered in for that week's prize. It's pretty simple. So, Terry, 100 people, we're going to give away Smooey Swine.
Nope.
The
Chiang Mai.
Chiang Mai disc.
I've got a couple of them. We've got some drivers, we got some putters, and I'll continue to ship some of these out. These are from Chain Disc Golf, which is one of the manufacturers over there in China. Daniel is the gentleman that runs it, and had a really great chat with him, and he's just doing so much to support the tour over there, along with XCOM, who's doing a ton, as well as eCoon. And I'm super excited to learn more about them and the growth in China, and then hopefully get some interviews that I can publish as well, so you guys can learn a little bit more yourselves. But yeah, we got some discs to give away.
All right, let's generate a number here. Terry Miller.
We are 4 stops down in the Asia Tour, which relates to this. So why don't we go with the 4th person? It was also the 4th Chiang Mai Open, so that works.
That is perfect. So our first number is 80. Our second number is 64. Our third number is 81. Our fourth number is 32. 32. It's sorted by first name. I got boring today. I didn't do anything else with that. So 32 is... Oh, you're kidding me. Really?
Is he here? Is he on tonight?
Ed Root.
Dang.
Ed Root.
One of the biggest Smashy and Disc Golf Guy channel supporters out there.
Ed, congratulations on your win. I'm going to highlight. Congratulations, Ed. Oh, this is the highlighter, not the other one.
Very nice.
All right.
Between Eric and Edwin. So Ed Root takes it down.
Congratulations, Ed.
Ed, are you live on the board tonight?
I don't know if I saw him.
I don't think I saw. He was here earlier, Tim says.
Yeah, understand. It gets late, but congratulations, Ed.
Nice.
Always nice. All right, we got one more number to draw, Terry.
I say you just pull the next one.
Pull the next one. The very next one is 39. 39.
That's going to be Edward.
No, it is 39. Glenn Reiser.
Another regular, and then some.
Glenn,
are you on tonight? Glenn is off in here. Yeah. Holy cow.
Ed Root and Glenn Reiser. We got some classics.
Can I pet your dog?
We got some classics.
Yes. Well, Ed's on there. Ed said, what's up?
Which is funny. So get this, though. I need to look at this because that Glenn just signed up for the Patreon. He's been here forever. He's done donations, I think, on YouTube, but he finally signed up literally
a few weeks ago,
like a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe.
It pays to pay us.
Jeez. So we got somebody who's been a Patreon supporter for a very long time, and someone who's been a supporter, but
finally put his money where his mouth is.
And
now he's like, I won, I'm out.
He just
he cancels his.
I'm done. Thanks,
the dish shows up in 3 days, and he's like, I'm canceling mine. I came out ahead.
Cool story, bro. So Terry will reach out to both of you guys to get your addresses because we don't have them on here.
Right.
But we appreciate your support. We appreciate everyone's support. Once again, that's patreon.com/SmashBoxxTV.
Sweet. Thank you, guys. Thank you to everyone. And I'll go ahead and echo that not only for our channel, but then obviously everyone that supports my efforts over on the Disc Golf Guy channel. A lot of you carry over one way or another. However you support either or both of us or whatever, we very much appreciate it. People really do win on SmashBoxxTV. Yes, dreams come true. And they also die right here.
I'm going to Disneyland.
Johnny and I in the basement.
It's where our dreams
go to die. Exactly. And I think that's about everything for us tonight.
I think so too, yeah.
I got Edit Life tomorrow, round 4. Oh, did it just finish rendering? Tomorrow, yeah, there we go. Round 4 of the Memorial MPO side is going to drop. Again, even if you know the outcome, it's a phenomenal watch. It's a lot of fun.
It's worth watching the end. Can you look at your Gannon Burr video and see how many people just skip to the very end to watch like just the last.
Oh, when did he miss? Well,
because that's what I did when I saw your video was out there. I knew he shot a 17, that he missed the perfect round by 1, and I knew it was the last hole. So I literally just skipped to the last hole. I scrubbed until I was like,
jerk.
Because I wanted to
put
see
it
the
on
putt.
for the whole thing and let it run.
I wanted to see the actual putt that he missed. Like, I'm like,
Right.
oh, was it a tough putt? Was it this? Because I didn't see what Schlebach had posted. Because
Right.
I just didn't. So I didn't know if you could see like when the high points of watching.
Yeah, or
are.
a replay, so to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah,
There
the
there
best
is.
replay.
It might be still new enough that I can't quite see that.
Okay,
Like this time tomorrow,
it hasn't propagated
Yeah, there's
yet.
an audience retention box.
Sure.
And it will update it by this time tomorrow.
Okay.
To let me know for sure.
Because I was thinking, I'm like, I bet you a lot of people did the same thing I
Yeah,
did.
just skip
Clip
right-
on it, went right to hole 18.
Yeah, you can see where there's a dip and or where there's replays or the most watched
Yes.
section, and it doesn't show me that exact spot yet because the analytics
Ed
haven't
Root
caught up.
shows up. What's up? Ed, you won.
Yes.
You won, Ed. Literally, we did the drawing and you won.
All I do is win, win, win. Yes, Ed. Thank you.
I didn't see he was on the board. So.
Yes, I shouted him out. So, thank you. Yeah. Go watch some Memorial coverage. I'm excited to put together the MP40 round as well. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, just all-time classics in that group as well. So that will be getting released soon. Thank you for joining us tonight. Again, thanks to Felix in the regular show. Next week, Johnny might be without me. I don't know. You might have to find a substitute for me. I know that's an impossible standard.
There is no substitute for you,
Right.
Terry.
Well, you're going to have to probably find. I think I am in the midst of landing and wrapping up a 15-hour flight, literally as the show is going on. I think I'm arriving on what would be Wednesday morning in whatever country, Philippines, as the show will be going on. So I am not planning on being available, unfortunately, for next week. So
That's okay.
Callie's a good choice. Lots of good choices. You'll find somebody.
I will.
It won't be me.
It won't be you. Thank goodness.
Podcast 595's after show. Seriously appreciate all of you for joining, whether it's live tonight or you're one of the many downloads. Thank you for tuning in and listening. For Johnny V, I'm the Disc Golf Guy. We'll see you next week. You step inside the Smashbox.